third grade writers. So today you're going to plan a way for your audience to actively engage with your teacher for a day lesson. And what I mean by actively engage is that I want you to think about something that your audience can do or practice after they have learned from you. So you're going to give them your teaching lesson, and then your audience should have a way of showing what they've learned or practicing what they've learned. So lessons are engaging when there's a way to try out a new strategy or discuss and show what you've learned. I'm going to give you some different ways that you can engage your audience when you present to them this week and next week. So my topic is how to run a marathon. So one way I could engage my audience is by having them answer a question. So I would ask the question and then my audience would answer it with raised hands. So my question is, or they could answer it in writing as well. My question is, what do you think is the most important step as you prepare to run a marathon? Why do you think it's most important? So I would ask that question and then I'd call on a few people to answer it, or I'd have them answer it in writing. Another way that you can engage your audience is by giving them a discussion prompt. So a discussion prompt is something that you use when you want people to talk together about a topic. So I might put people into small groups, or I might say, talk to somebody at home. What are some of the challenges of running a marathon? How can you prepare to face those challenges? Usually a discussion prompt is a little more open-ended than asking a question. And discussion prompts often allow people to have different perspectives and for people to learn from those different perspectives. So that's another way that you can engage your audience. You might want to do a quick activity. So for example, for running a marathon, I would ask them to jot on a piece of paper the steps that they would take before running a marathon. Depending on what you're teaching, there might be different types of quick activities that you could do in this section. If you're doing an art activity, maybe have them do a section of the art with you. If you're doing some sort of sports activity, you could have them do a certain stretch or warm up. Then you can also do a practice problem or situation. So if you're doing something scientific or mathematical, that might be a good place to do a practice problem. If you have a situation, if you're teaching them something about social studies or about planning for something, you might want to give them a situation. So my situation is, imagine that you are 20 weeks away from running your first marathon. Make a plan for what you will do in the next 20 weeks to meet your goal. And finally, you can think of some other way to engage your audience. So think to yourself, how can I capture the interest of my audience, my classmates? How can I make them really interested in my topic and get them to try this out or actively engage? How can they try out what I'm teaching? Or even just a small component of what I'm teaching. Remember that these presentations are only going to be about 15 minutes long, so your active engagement should just be a quick little thing that you can do with your audience to get them engaged and excited about what you've just taught. Have fun planning how to engage your audience today. See you later. Bye.